This is James Helder for iFilm London. I'm in Sutton today in Danny Cassius Connor's back garden. What's happening, Dan?
How you going, James? Good, yeah?
I'm all right, yeah. Firstly, we done an interview with Danny yesterday at the Roy Jones Jr. event. For some reason, the sound didn't come out, so I just thought it was bad. So I've met up with Danny today just to have a chat with him, genuinely, and see what's going on.
Yep, all good. Everything's going good. Got my mandatory confirmed yesterday or the day before, which is Tony Owen, who's one of my. We're supposed to be good mates, so we're going to end up fighting. We're waiting to see what show that's going to be on. Maybe July the 6th on the undercard of Saunders and Ryder, but that's not been 100% confirmed yet. But hopefully it's going to be around the end of June, July time. So we're just waiting to see what's been confirmed.
Quite an awkward thing, Tony Owen, local boy like yourself, fighting one of your friends. How'd you deal with that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, me and Tony have been good mates for years. We've worked together. We've been out together. We've been on holidays together. We've been through bad times together as well. And to be quite honest, I don't want to fight Tony. He's my mate, and it's going to be a double hard fight for me to get up for. And how can I stand and just how can I want to punch one of my pals in the face? You know what I mean? And the thing is, this ain't a sport, it's a business at the end of the day, which I can understand that he wants to win titles and things like that. I can understand that, and I don't begrudge that. I don't begrudge him that. That's why I've not vacated the title, because at the end of the day I've worked hard for it, so why am I going to just give it up like that? But yeah, it don't sit right with me that Tony's so adamant that he wants to fight me for this belt. Like, I can understand he's been through it as well. He's been through hard times, but at the end of the day, he knows what I've been through as well. And the thing is with me, I just can't understand why a friend would want to fight another friend and take something that person's worked hard and earned. I know people go, oh, it's not personal, and you forget it afterwards and you put your friendship aside, which originally that's what I thought it would be like. But the more that I'm thinking about it, the more it's just getting to me. But at the end of the day, we're going to fight. He's the mandatory, so there's no point in winding myself up about it. Hopefully we can still be mates afterwards, see how we both feel, but it just ain't. It's just not a good thing, is it, really? It's not nice.
I respect your opinion on that, Dan. I heard that you phoned up Eddie Hearn and demanded that your fight be on the undercard of Saunders and Ryder. Was that true, Dan?
I wouldn't say I demanded it, but Eddie will tell you himself, I'm the biggest pest in the world when it comes to, if I want something, I'm on the case for it. When I got to the prize fighter, I was on the case. I wanted to get in it, so I was tweeting the life out of him. I even got his number and phoned him. You know what I mean? And he laughed about it. We have a little laugh and a giggle about it. But obviously, I put it to him and said, look, can't you get it on that? But he said he'll talk to my manager, and go through the proper channels. You know what I mean? He's not going to disrespect my manager and my team and talk about it to me. He's going to speak to them about it, so fingers crossed that Eddie can make that happen, and it all comes to light, because Matchroom are the top people in the business, and if anyone says they don't want to be on their shows, then they're lying. It's as simple as that. Matchroom are the top team to be with, so hopefully we'll get that show on there and I can win and move on and maybe get a little deal out of it. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Well, the first two fights, fighting on Sky Sports against Chris Evangelou, do you think you've earned Eddie Hearn's respect and the respect of the Matchroom staff and fighters? Yeah,
I'd say so. There've been two good fights, and not just that. Before the two Evangelou fights, I boxed Tyler Goodjohn, and that was another war. Do you know what I mean? And Tyler was sort of linked with Matchroom, so that's three fights, two of their fighters, all 10-rounders that I've had a hard time with, and I've had hard fights, and I've shown what I'm worth. So yeah, I think I've got Eddie's respect in that. Listen, I might not be Sugar Ray Leonard, but listen, when it comes to giving up, there's no giving me, and he knows that I'll never jack in, I'll never quit, and I'll always fight to the end, no matter what or who's in front of me.
Billy Joe Saunders training preparations at the TKO. I've seen a sign on Twitter saying that the TKO gym's closed between 1 and 3. Has that affected your preparation at all, or any of the other lads?
It has, really. It has, really affected it. No fault of Billy Joe's or any of his team Tibbs. They wanted a gym from a certain time, which weren't convenient for me and my team. My trainer's a black cabbie. He's out till late at night, and he starts at sort of 3, 4. So it's not fair on me to say to Alec, I want to train earlier or I want to train later, you know. So we've gone elsewhere, but more than likely we'll be back at the TKO after this camp. But at the moment we're at a gym just around the corner, Lansbury it's called. I don't know, I think it's Lansbury ABC, but we're using that in the morning. He's kindly let us use it, a guy called Adam. Nice of him, really. So yeah, we're just there at the moment. All the team's gone over there and we're all training there. As long as we've got Alec, it don't matter where we train.
Quite recently, well, I say quite recently, about 3 months ago, I saw a bit of banter between yourself and Mickey Helliet on Twitter regarding getting this fight for Tony Owen to fight you for this Southern Area belt. Do you think that was kind of the impetus that got this fight moving?
Not really, because the thing that I can't get with Mickey Helliet is Mickey Helliet come to me and said, "Oh, Tony should have got that shot before me, that he was higher in the rankings than me." Okay, fair enough. If that's the case, then like nothing I can do about it. If they offer me a fight, I'm going to take the fight, you know. But then Tony's ahead of me in the rankings apparently, but then they've come back for this fight. To be quite honest, I think it's just like me and Mick we got a bit of needle or whatever. You know, I could sit here and slag Mick off all night. He don't do a bad job with his fighters. To be fair, he don't do a bad job. He don't do a great job, to be fair. But sometimes I just wish they'd look past the money aspect of everything and see, you know, what they're sort of, I don't know what they're sort of doing with things. But like Mick don't give a shit if me and Tony fall out and we never speak again. You know what I mean? It's one of them. But it is what it is, isn't it? Mick's just fucking Mick. He wants to earn a few quid out of boxing, and that's all he cares about. You know, like he never used to put Ben Murphy on his shows or nothing like that really, unless it was against the ticket seller, because Ben didn't sell tickets. Never used to put him on the shows or things like that. He only has certain people on his shows, certain ticket sellers. Mick ain't my favourite person. I wouldn't say I don't like him, but he's not my favourite person. But it's one of them things, isn't it? You know, it probably has had an effect on the fight because we've hyped it up on Twitter a bit. But I never actually thought it would end up going ahead. Do you know what I mean? I never thought that Tone would sort of go through with it and say, yeah, I want to fight him. But it's happened now. No use crying over spilt milk. So we'll do what we're going to do, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I want to come on to another one of your pals, Mr. Curtis Woodhouse. # I will find you. Oh. He's fighting tomorrow at lightweight. Yeah. I see you and him having a bit of needle again, to say the least. Could you explain to us a little bit what's been going on there?
Dave Caldwell offered me to fight with Curtis Woodhouse twice. The first time I think I'd agreed to Evangelou, and the second time it was for now. Like I would have been fighting him tomorrow if I'd accepted the agreement. Obviously, you can see like I'm not in shape to go and fight Curtis Woodhouse at light welterweight, let alone lightweight. So I said to Dave, look, mate, the notice is a bit too soon, so we'll have to leave it for another time, which he had no problem with. The problem arose when Curtis went around and told one of my gym mates that they offered me $7.5 grand to fight. Me and Dave hadn't even spoke about the money, but the first time that I was offered the fight, that sort of money was not what we spoke about anyway. I'd fight Curtis Woodhouse for $7.5 grand. I'd probably fight him for less than that if the truth be told. But Curtis is just a big mouth anyway, you know, like at the end of the day, every time he stepped up, he's been beat. Dale Miles knocked him out, you know what I mean? And even though Dale Miles was a massive puncher, at least Curtis took the fight, he had a go, fair enough, but he's been knocked out every time he stepped up. He's dropped down to lightweight. I'm a light welterweight, he's still calling my name. It don't make no sense really, but at the end of the day, after this fight, I think I might even drop down to lightweight. We've been thinking about it. It's been definite. We sounded out Liam Shinkwin about a fight for the Southern area, which they accepted, and then this thing come up with Tony, and it's all about what shows you can get on, and what's the I make lightweight quite comfortably. It's just all about money as well a lot of the time. So who knows? I could drop down September. The Shinkwin fight still a possibility, as I haven't spoke to anyone to say that we aren't going to accept it. But yeah, me and Curtis could happen. It could happen in the future, but I'll bang Curtis out. Definitely, I'll knock him out. Curtis is chinny. I mean, he's a bit of a knobhead, to be quite honest, as well. Like on Twitter, saying about he walks it how he talks it and all that. Well, what? Because you give it to someone on Twitter and you went to their front door. The kid was a top donut. You could see that just looking at him on the next day on this morning or whatever.
Jimmy Brown Pants.
Yeah, Jimmy Brown Pants. That says it all, doesn't it? Curtis is telling me, oh, I'm going to walk it, I'll talk it. And when I see him, it's on and all that. So, whatever, like, he's the one who's called it on. So, we'll see what he's saying when we see each other. We'll see what he's saying when we see each other. I'm not going to talk about it all over and slag him off because it's easy. I could sit here and tell everyone what I'll do this and I'll do that. But I'm not like that. When we see each other, we'll sort it out then. But he's just made himself look like a donut talking shit over Twitter. Do you know what I mean? That's what he's popped that fella off for. Oh, come and find you. Come down. He can come down here and find me anytime. You know what I mean? He message me on Twitter. I'll give you my address. You won't have to go looking for me, mate. So it's one of them, isn't it?
All right. Well, glad you got that off your chest.
Well, that's it. Yeah, a load of people have asked about it, and that's just how it is. He's seemed like a bit, I wouldn't say a bully, because if anyone, you know what I mean, anyone to do what he's done, he's took it a step further, and he's a hero for what he's done with that Twitter troll. But at the same time, don't go sitting there talking shit about me because he don't even know me. Not saying I'm a big nutter or a bad man or nothing like that, but he don't know me, so don't make threats over Twitter that you're not going to carry out, because I guarantee that when I see him, he won't be saying nothing. Probably be shaking my arse, bit of Twitter banter, talking a bit of shit, whatever. We'll see when we see each other.
If you beat Tony Owen, do you think Eddie Hearn will sign you to Matchroom Sport?
Be nice, wouldn't it? But there's never no guarantees with Eddie and that. He's the most in-demand manager promoter there is in British boxing. He's the number one in British boxing, maybe even Europe. You just got to look at his stable to see what he's got. He's still got Evangelou on the books, which is a bit crazy. I mean, I've done Evangelou twice, so why not? You could say get rid of Chris, take me on, but
I didn't say that, Chris.
You didn't say that, but I'm saying it. You know what I mean? I've beat him twice, so. But Eddie's got his own thing going on there, so if you know what I mean, he obviously thinks Chris can come back and sort it out. So good luck to him. But yeah, it'd be nice if I could get something out of it. Like he said, I can go in the next prize fighter. Hopefully, I'll go in the next prize fighter, and you just never know, do you? It'd be nice though. I'm not going to lie and say I wouldn't want it. I'd take it in a second. You wouldn't even, you know what I mean, just a whisper of it, and I'll take it. But we'll see what happens after the fight with Tony. There's no guarantee what's going to happen there, so we'll just see what happens.
A lot of fighters come through, prospects, excuse me, Dan, they're a little bit protected, maybe, in some of your words, pampered. You've gone a complete opposite route to that.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that a little bit.
Well, the thing is, I just think to myself, why waste your time with sort of, no disrespect to like the journeyman in Britain, because they do a good job. They're earning a few quid for their families, and you've got to respect that. But me personally, I don't think that I would learn too much from fighting the journeyman type fighters. I've learnt more from fighting people like Terry Holmes, Adam Little, Matthew McAllister up in Scotland, Adam Battle. All of them guys are unbeaten. I learnt more from fighting them. Fair enough, I got beat by them, and my record looks a bit patchy, but the results speak for themselves. My last 3 fights have been title fights, 10-rounders, and I've come through them with flying colours. So, yes, it's a bit shitty that I've had to lose my unbeaten record, but it's just one of them things. At the end of the day, I've come back and I've shown people that I've avenged one of them defeats with Tyler Goodjohn, which that fight could happen as well further down the line. Again, Tyler Goodjohn and me for number 3. But yeah, I've avenged my defeats. I've come back from it, and I've shown that a loss ain't the end of the world. At the end of the day, you can learn a lot more from that. I've learned so much from them 5. I've had 5 losses. I've learnt so much from them 5 losses. So at the end, it's just one of them. If you don't learn from them things, you won't go nowhere. That was the difference for me. I learnt, Alec Wilkie put it to me on a plate and laid it out. I weren't working properly. I weren't training properly. No disrespect to Terry Holmes or Adam Battle or Matt McAllister or any of them boys, Adam Little. But if I was fit, and I'm not the greatest 4-round fighter, but if I was fit, I would have given them hell, mate. I would have given them a lot more trouble than what I did do. I weren't hurt in any of them fights. They just outpointed me because I was tired, and that's the pure facts of it.
All right, well listen, Dan, I know the Ryder Billy Joe Saunders fight has gone back to purse bids for some reason, so we don't know what's going on then. So as soon as we find out what's going on in terms of a date for your fight, if it's on that card or whatever your management, Mick Helliet, are going to sort out, we'd like to know and get an update on that.
I'll just say a big thanks as well to my to my sponsors, Tony Dobbins at Glen Insurance, the Project Clothes Store in Sutton, and Boxfit, Ken at Boxfit, always helps me out, gives me my shorts and sorts me out nicely. Just want to say a big thanks to them, and obviously the whole team, Tommy the Wisp, Tommy the Gun, Frankie Monkhouse, he's my good mate, Adam, like we all call him Floss, the two Bretts that train there, Areti Mastraduka, who's our Greek girl that we've got there, and Freddie Brown, my nutritionist, Alec Wilkie, obviously, and everyone else who's involved with the team. I'd just like to say thanks for everything, and thanks for staying patient with me and that.
Do you know what? We've gone through a whole interview, and I think you've only said the word Connor and clan about 4 times. This is a
shout
record,
out to the Connor clan as well. Everyone who buys tickets, shout out to you lot as well, because I couldn't do it without you. And yeah, Small Oldings Gym, Fitzroy Lodge, all the gyms that helped me out. Thanks everyone.
This is James Helder with Danny Cassius Connor, aka the Grinch that stole Christmas, for I Film London.
Team CC, that's how we roll, yeah.
I Film London. I Film London. I Film London.